I'm Helen Clark. I've been Prime Minister of New Zealand and also head of the United Nations Development Programme. These days I'm working on a range of global challenges, including through advocacy on how to end the COVID-19 pandemic and stop a future pandemic emerging, and on boosting women's leadership and access to equal opportunity. On my to-do list is promoting good governance as a prerequisite for sustainable development, in line with the objectives of Sustainable Development Goal 16. Goal 16 promotes peaceful and inclusive societies, access to justice for all, and effective, inclusive, and accountable institutions. And I've chosen to talk about it because achieving its targets is so fundamental to getting sustained development progress. Sadly, time and again we've seen how societies which enter a downward spiral of conflict experience huge setbacks to development. We've seen how unjust societies deny rights to all and thwart human potential. And we see how corruption thrives in unaccountable and opaque institutions and systems of government. I'm passionate about SDG 16 because I believe that well-governed, peaceful and inclusive societies are those which will make the most progress on sustainable development. So I will work for the targets of SDG 16 in three main ways. First, as chair of the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative. It sets the global standard for good governance in the extractive sector, a sector which can deliver major resources for development or which can make a few people very rich. By supporting countries to implement the EITI's standard, we aim to ensure that extractive sectors contribute to the public good. Second, as an ambassador for the Open Government Partnership, which, like the EITI, promotes working relationships between governments and civil society in the interests of transparency and good governance. Open governments are accountable to citizens, and they ensure that citizens can contribute to decision-making which affects their lives. Such governments must also enable parliamentary, media, and civil society scrutiny of decisions and of the information which government holds. Thirdly, through my role as chair of the Global Leadership Foundation, which is a network of senior statesmen and women who provide confidential advice and support to leaders who are dealing with difficult, even intractable problems, which are preventing their countries getting ahead. I believe that each of us, in our own ways and capacities, can support implementation of SDG 16 by supporting open societies in which every citizen has a stake and in which each can expect fair treatment and equal opportunity. And we should show our intolerance of corruption and injustice in any form. We can support those organisations which work for these goals at the national and local levels. So I encourage everyone who wants to see progress on the SDGs to make their own to-do list and become part of this global movement for a more inclusive and sustainable world, recognising that peace, the rule of law, and effective and accountable institutions provide the most solid foundations for that.